Hello, good day to everyone. I'm happy to welcome you all on yet another episode of Coaching Matters. Coaching Matters is our humble effort to educate people on various aspects of life and profession as well as business. Talking specifically about the business, there is one permanent requirement, and that is growth. And when it comes to growth, I think the sales is the foremost function. Today, I am pleased to engage with one of my newfound friends, Ravichandran V, who happens to be a stalwart in the field of selling. For the last 30 years, Ravi has spent all his energy in one function, and that is sales. Ravichandran has studied mechanical engineering, the business management with distinction, and he is also a gold medalist in industrial marketing. During his corporate career spanning over 2.5 decades, he has worked with L&T, like cash-like brands, and he was mainly involved in sales of construction equipment or capital equipments. Ravi has also authored a book titled 7 Value Drivers for Success in Sales, mainly focusing on sales of capital equipments. In 2021, he founded Sales Enabler. As the name suggests, Sales Enablers provide the sales coaching services. I'm pleased to engage with him on this fresh episode of Coaching Matter series, and I'm anticipating a very absorbing discussion. Ravi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Viman. Thank you for having me in this show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you, and thank you so much for your time today. Ravi, I would like to begin by asking one very, very simple and basic question. I have seen people, freely using the term sales, marketing, or sometimes even business development as if they are interchangeable. Can you please help clarify the difference between each of these terms?
Yeah, I think a very good question, Viman. This even struck me, and people use marketing and sales mostly in one single breath. Sales typically is exchanging, money for a product or services. That is immediately selling your product or services for money. Whereas marketing is creating a conducive atmosphere to ensure that to happen. It's a long-term goal, and going to promoting the brand and to pitch your brand to the particular customer is marketing. And business development is leveraging the relationship. Short-term relationship, existing relationship, new relationship. Sales is immediately the short-term activity, getting money for your product and services, while marketing and business development help sales, of course, but they are in a long-term horizon. So a guy can do sales, he can do marketing, he can do business development, but definitely they are three different animals with three different purposes, three different objectives. So it's very, very unfair to use them in one breath, which many people do.
True.
And though marketing and sales help, marketing and business development help sales, they are absolutely, different. And this, I think, as you rightly pointed out, you hit the nail on the head. This differentiation is absolutely necessary for any emerging salesperson, so that he should know what is his, goal and role. Yeah.
Okay. Ravi, when I was growing up, accidentally I got to put my hands on sales. I was very, very immature, inexperienced at that point of time. But you are somebody who has spent entire life, professional life in sales.
Yeah.
When I was doing sales, I realized that I'm not really cut out for sales, at least at that point of time. But when did you realize that you are really cut out for this?
Yeah. So it's very nice. Again, very, very nice question. I joined Larsen Toubro as a trainee in aftermarket. Aftermarket is giving service or providing service to the equipments after sales.
Yeah.
So this was when I joined, and we were trained on the equipments. Those were heavy equipments, and you to take care of them when they were commissioned and any troubleshooting. And it was all technically intensive work. And all along, I realized that this is not my job. I realized that I'm cut out for sales. Sales means meeting people, meeting new people, going places, not getting stuck in repairing of an equipment. And then it involved a lot of courage, to get into something which is uncertain. It required some courage. But then 4 or 5 years down in service, I realized, no, this is not the thing which I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life. And even during my service days, I used to do things related to sales. And even the company realized that my flavor and my ability are more suited towards sales. So in 97 or 98, I think exactly 97, mid of 97, when there was a restructuring in the company, I got myself transferred into sales. And as I say, rest is history. And 25 years after that, I am full-fledged into sales. Yeah.
Great, great. So you continued doing, 3 decades in sales, only one function, which was sales.
Yeah.
I'm sure, there must have been lots of learning. What all learnings you picked up on the way? Basically, the learning about the life, about the people.
Yeah, I think some fundamental learning which has really shaped me as a person is some 4 or 5 learnings I can tell you. Is number one, in sales is a long haul. Sales in especially B2B sales is not hit and run. No, you need to cultivate relationship. You need to develop relationship, and it's all the fundamentals should be in place for you to be a successful salesperson. So the product or services are many. There are many competition. So you need to know about your product services. You need to cultivate the habit of developing relationships. You need to show value to people. Why they should entertain you in the first place. And I've always believed certain things that people buy emotionally and then they defend rationally. So it's people first buy you and then they buy your product or services. So how do you present? How do you show value? How do you generate the trust which is required? So these fundamental things I learned a lot, and I'm even telling the new people who are coming to sales is not something that you go and pitch your product and services. It is that you pitch first yourself, and then once the client is ready to accept you and talk to you, trust you. Okay, this guy I can trust. I can take his words and face value. Only then he will be comfortable in talking about that product or services. Okay, so this is one thing which I learned, and I'm practicing that, and it has given me immense success. So yeah, so one, to summarize it, sales is a long-term game. You have to show value. You have to build your personal brand and personal trust. You need to be solution centric, and this is the time when I realized that I should write my book. When I realized you know uh, how do I crystallize all my 25 years of learning into a very simple book which says what is that the 7 things the customers are looking for. And whatever books I had read in sales was all about the situations based on the Western aspect of things, and there was no Indian examples, Indian situation. So whatever I had experienced in my 25 years of sales experience and my colleagues' experience, what I had done wrong, what I did right, I crystallized it in form of a book which went on to become an Amazon bestseller called Seven Value Drivers for Success in Sales. It is available in Amazon now, and it says very simply the simple things about what are the 7 things which any customer who is buying a product or service looks for when he is buying a product or service. You know, so with simple examples, real life examples, what to do, and so this is what I did as a contribution, and it's a reminder for me as well as anybody else as to it's not a rocket science. It's very simple fundamentals, and if you take care of these 7 values, you can approach any customer for any product.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So you had a very long stint with L&T and Case-like company. I'm sure that must have been a very, very glamorous corporate career. What prompted you to step out of corporate career and turn into a sales coach?
Yeah, I think as a good coach, I think you are accustomed to asking good, powerful questions. And this again is a very powerful question, Viman. Very, very was a difficult question when I used to implement that. All along in my professional career, after spending about 20 years, the last 3 or 4 years, the question was nagging me, what is the next in this? And I didn't want to be the run of the mill guy, working in the same company and retiring. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
After 20 years in Larsen Tobro and 10 years in CNH, I didn't want to go for money and position and just for the sake of it. I wanted to do something which I can build and I can call myself own, my own brand, my own network. So, and I thought, what is that? You might have read that book Ikigai,
Yeah.
which I was very influenced by the book Ikigai, which says there are four things, four quadrant. What is that you are good at? What is that the society wants, and you
Mhm.
should help the society. And is the society going to pay for that thing? And will it be scalable? And will it make me happy? You know. So when I thought about the ikigai, I thought, okay, training, coaching, consulting is my area which I have passion, and there are a lot of demand for this. These new lateral recruits and
Mhm.
hundreds and thousands of people coming into this profession. And by virtue of my lot of reading and lot of passion for this subject, I thought I could do a good work in this area.
Mhm.
So I think there is something called as leap of faith. They say, right? You have to jump sometimes.
Right.
So COVID was the right time where there was some situation where there was some relocation, and I thought, okay, this is the time
To
I
take a
should
stand.
jump and take that leap of faith. And I had my ducks in order in terms of my financial
Okay.
situation, in terms of my relationships. I wrote my book during COVID. The book was also out. The network was curated. So I think, yeah. So I think all in all, as I said, now when the student is ready, the guru appears, and then so the
Mhm.
student was ready, so the opportunity appeared, and here I am. Last 16 months, some new relations, new friends, and here I'm talking to you. All this happened because I took the plunge, and yeah, it's was scary in the beginning, but I think it's going good.
I'm sure it must have been. You talked about coaching and training.
Yeah,
Talking about coaching, and let's stick to that for a while. Coaching in India, I've been doing it for about 8 years now. In
yeah,
my opinion, coaching is not really very popular term or, a very easily acceptable services in India compared to the Western world. So, what are your views about it? And that is question part A. Part B is how does it really differ from training?
yeah. So even when I decided my next journey, as I said, I was contemplating what I should do next, what I should do next. So coaching, training, and consulting were the areas where I decided, I should go ahead. And then I decided this is something somewhere in 2017-18. So somebody suggested I should take a coaching certification, because I should be formally, aware of the terminologies, you know, and to know the difference. And it was eye opener for me. I enrolled for Ericsson coaching, which is an 8-day face-to-face program. And there I learned a very, very fundamental aspects of coaching and differentiation between coaching, mentoring, consulting, counseling. And I'll come to that later. The first question which you asked is the acceptance of coaching in India as a coaching as coaching. First of all, people don't know what is coaching and training, which will come to it later. What is it? But the acceptance part, yes, in India, this knowledge or somebody else's time or somebody else's depth is taken for granted. For whatever reasons, they feel that why should I pay you for your knowledge or your the so-called gyan, which they say. They unfortunately don't respect other people's. I would say the majority of people. Right? There are some people who are definitely understanding this as compared to Western world. I'm talking about. So this is undergoing a change, and in the next 5 to 10 years, I see a huge change which will happen. People will appreciate other people's time, depth, knowledge, and this is I am seeing the shift gradually, though. So this is one of the reasons where in India people don't want to pay, or they feel comfortable, or they feel that somebody else's time or somebody else's depth will be not expensive or for free. Okay. Unlike the Western world, where each and every minute is accounted for, and people are very, very professional in terms of engaging you and paying you. This is number one, which I realized, and it was I learned when I went to the coaching session in 2017, and which I realized in the last 2.5 years when I talk to people.
Mhm.
Now, coming to the next question of your part B, which you asked, what is the difference between the coaching and training? And the first thing which we were taught in that Ericsson certification program was this. See, coaching, training, mentoring, and counseling. The coaching is asking powerful questions uh, to let the coachee know what is it going on, how he can change it, or what is it going wrong, or what is going right, and how he can change. It's going inside out. The person realizing that he has to do something.
Right.
Training
What to
is,
do with
and
self-realization?
yeah, what to do, self-realization, because neuroscience has proven that, when a person himself realizes that, oh, that aha moment or the wow moment, oh, I didn't miss this, I didn't see this perspective. And when he decides to do something, the chances of the change is much more pronounced. Okay, this is the neuroscience has proven that, rather than somebody telling him that what he has to do. Unlike training or mentoring, in which the person tells what to do, this is to be done, and this has not to be done, and this has to be, somebody handholds somebody, and this is training. So it's a huge difference. Unfortunately, people take coaching and training in one breath, which is absolutely very unfair. But
Yeah.
yeah, since we are there in this field, we are supposed to educate people.
Yeah.
So one more thing which I realized is, in training you are supposed to, or you are limited to only one domain in which you are strong. But in coaching, the entire world is yours, because you are not going to tell what to do.
Yeah.
You are going to show the mirror to the coachee, and he
Yeah.
has to look at the situation from his perspective, and you are going to ask powerful questions and lead him to the area where he wants to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So hope I have answered you
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah. It's perfectly answered. I think when it comes to consulting, let's say, just to look at the difference between consulting and coaching. Consulting is more instructive in nature, or it's like a doctor giving you a prescription, and then you don't deserve a right to ask doctor, why this pill and why not that pill. So it's more prescriptive in nature. For a defined problem, there are defined solutions, and that's where the expertise of consultant come in play. Whereas the coach is, like you rightly said, it's all about showing the mirror, making your counterpart look himself in the mirror, so through a self realization, and then he's able to find his own solution. So I think that was very nice. So
Yeah.
now that you yourself have turned into a sales coach, and also have taken the Ericsson coaching module, what exactly do you do for your client, for their growth, and what do they need to do? Because action, I believe, when you are coaching somebody, actions are always on the counterpart.
Yeah, actually, a nice question. I always believe, Biman, when somebody is in the midst of his domain or profession, and bogged down by his day-to-day situations, they are not able to see the 360 degrees of their implication, of their actions, of their thought process, of their surroundings, of the market. They are reactive in nature. You know, they have a problem, they take an action, and they have a problem and they take an action, and they are bogged down by this activity. But as a coach, since I am not into their problem, I am not into their situation, I have a slightly far away holistic view of the situation. You know, so I can ask powerful questions to them. Why are you doing the thing which you're doing? What is the other options that you can explore? So in that situation, many times I've seen that some beautiful situations or beautiful actions can emerges out, which the coachee have appreciated. Oh, this particular situation or this particular approach we have not thought it. And also, because of my wide experience of dealing with dealers and companies across the country, and at times in Asia Pacific also, there is a different flavor which I can bring into the conversation. You know, and now, thanks to my new role, where I have got exposure to many industries, not only the construction equipment but lubrication industries, and the ancillary industries, and small equipments, larger equipments, multinationals, Indian multinationals, small dealers. So the flavor and perspective which I can bring about is phenomenal, and that gives them a wider scope or wider canvas for them to view their situation. And when you have a wider canvas or a wider view, definitely you got more options to choose. So this is what our goal is in sales enablers, to give them a buffet of options, you know,
Right.
to make them realize what is that. There is a good saying, what is the definition of insanity?
Mhm.
The insanity means keeping doing the same things and expecting different results.
Mhm.
And this is what people do. They do the same thing and they say, why I'm not changing? So it's all about making them feel as to, okay, what is it you're going to do differently, and why?
Mhm.
They say no, what, why, and how.
How?
what is that you have to do, why you have to do, and how you have to do. So, as you rightly said, showing the mirror, leading them with the powerful questions, giving them a canvas to look at the entire options, and giving them the why to do a particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very impressed with this Simon Sinek's book, Start with Why, which says
Start
that,
with why, yeah.
yeah, every question, everything you ask, why? Why should I do this? Should I do this at all? Or should I not do it? Just for the sake of it, should I do it? So, yeah, I think all the gyan which I've accumulated, all the hundreds of people who have met, a lot of failures which I've seen happening across the world, across my industry, all this put together, what we are endeavoring to give is a basket of options so that they become better.
Okay. All right. So, Ravi, as far as I know, somewhere I had read, that the sales is the oldest profession.
Yeah.
And you have spent, a major portion of your life in that.
Yeah.
About 30 years. So how it has changed over a period of time, and especially, with the advent of technology and internet and whatnot, now the whole world is going digital. What has changed as far as sales is concerned?
Yeah, I would say something has changed dramatically and something has not changed at all.
Mm-hmm.
Now you
Very
ask.
interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
Now there is something which has not changed at all, I would say, and something has changed dramatically. Now let us take each point. Now, what has not changed at all? Human emotions has not changed at all and will not change at all till the time it is a human being which is buying. Okay, even if it is 100 years down the line, I don't think so it will change if a human being is buying, because human beings by nature are emotional. They want to do a good. They want to be appreciated. They don't want to be wrong. They don't want to be looked upon as a failure in the eyes of others. So even if it's a product which is very small value, or if it is a multi-billion-dollar product, it does not matter, because ultimately it's a human being. So human beings, the emotion, the need for being validated, the need for being right, the need for doing the right thing, the need for not being taken for granted, this has not changed. But what has changed is the way in which the people gather information, the way in which people take decisions, the way in which people process information, the time taken by people to process information. This is because of the advent of technology, the availability of data at practically zero cost. So a guy can do all the reviews at home. He can talk to people at home. He can get WhatsApp forwards, WhatsApp videos. He can see the catalogs. He can see the product. He can, experience the product sitting at home. So yes, technology has made all these things much different. So yeah, if you are not ready and approaching like your competition is doing, you will be far behind. So you need to approach the client quicker, faster. You need to approach more number of clients with the help of technology. You need to show your product in the best possible. To give you an example, we used to show a product video which was about 8 to 10 minutes 15 years back. Now the same product video we are showing, which is less than a minute, which is 45 seconds. In our product video 15 years back, there are a lot of dialogues, a lot of commentary. Now there is no commentary. There's only subtitles and a loud music. Okay. So as I rightly said to you, that two fundamental things, people and emotions, the buying behavior has not changed. But the way in which people process information, the way people are reached, the way people respond to you, the time which people give you, these are undergone a phenomenal change, and it's changing at a breakneck speed, every year. And one more thing I have to add lastly is that, the generation which was buying when I was selling, were not privy to a lot of technology. But the second generation, his son, when they're coming into business, they are having all this, Instagram, social media, blogs. Their international exposure is very high. So these people are to be approached in a much different manner.
Yeah.
You cannot approach them in the next 5 years. I think Instagram will be very powerful, because all these millennials now will be going to become mid and senior level managers.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, hopefully I would answer you the question. I could answer you.
Yeah, sure. So tell us about your engagement model. How much really do you work when you engage with your client, and how much do they have to work as far as their actions are concerned?
Yeah, actually it's equally a 50-50, I would say, but not in the way the work involvement will be 50-50, but the work will be in a different proportion.
Mhm.
Because as I said in coaching, any lasting change will happen only when there is initiative from the person who wants to change. Okay,
True.
it is not that I engage a consultant or a coach or a trainer and I can sit back. I remember, I joined a weight reduction class way back, and the first day they said that yours is in 80% work. You need to cut on your diet, you need to exercise, you need to come on time, you need to do everything. So yeah, in that manner it is 80-20. And again I am reminded of my training faculty or training in 1991 when I joined Larsen to Grow. There was one gentleman called as Arun, who was expert trainer. We were all young, very young boys at that time. And the first day he said that, look, I'm going to give you training. 80% is what is your capacity to observe or your initiative. 80% success will come with your initiative and your enthusiasm and your uh, initiative in the entire. And 20% is what I can contribute to. It is not that he is giving only 20% knowledge, but the onus is 80-20.
Mhm.
Okay. So I always tell my people that, look, we only can give you, we are a signpost. Okay. Very important. Signposts are very important. Signpost, guiding, trying to push you. But the final, the success depends upon how committed the particular person is. And I've seen this. There are many people, in the batch of 20 or 30 or 10. And the same information is given, the same enthusiasm, but some people, they go out and transform themselves, and some people just they don't do anything. So yeah, I believe that 80% comes from the person who is learning, and 20% in terms of the success. But in terms of effort, yes, it's 100% effort which we give to put the best in the shortest period of time. We need to give the best of the knowledge.
All right. So Ravi, when you engage with your client, of course, one of the major concerns that they would have at that point of time is, increasing their business, increasing their top line or revenue. So of course, through your coaching, there are likely, the upward changes. Apart from the changes in business, their top line and the revenue, what all other things do you expect them to change? For example, their approach, their focus, or even their strategy.
See, I would go slightly reverse. I say don't focus on top line or revenue. It's something, we are going backwards. Focus on the process. The result is a byproduct. You know, when people focus on the revenue, the top line, the profitability, they miss out the process. We say you have a very good product to begin with. It could be a service also. A
Mhm.
very good product which is good in quality, which is really differentiated in terms of what is available in the market. Work on a good product, work on good people, have a good people and process and system so that they are motivated. As Richard Branson of Virgin Atlantic says, very nice quote: take care of your people and they will take care of your customers.
Very true.
So first is a good product or a service, whatever it is. Then having a good process so that the customer is taken care, the uniformity of the process is there. Then good people who are motivated internally. A good vision, the clarity and where is that you are going to go in 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. And then when you go and attack the situation or go along the journey, the result definitely has to come.
Mhm.
It is not the other way around. You say that, okay, I want to do this. This is my profitability or a top line. I don't care. Now let me develop a product. Now let me develop the people and hook up. I see many companies will focus on the top line first, the outside in, and they say that no, I don't care whether people deliver or not. If this set of people don't deliver, I'm going to fire them and I'm going to go take a next set of people. I don't care about the process. I need to care about the results. So I say to people whoever are coming in contact with me, I say this is a long-term process. It's not
An
outside
overnight
in.
thing.
It's an inside out. First, you focus on what is that you're going to sell. Is it really valuable? Is it really having that value? Then are you having a right process to take it to the market? Go to market strategy, is it right? Then do you have the right people to take it, and are they motivated, and do they know the purpose? There's a book, very good book, Good to Great by Jim Collins. He says that The business does not matter what business you do. You the right set of people matters.
Yeah.
The right set of people, and then you have the the long term goals. What is it I want to reach? And if all things are right, then I think the result, which is the profitability or the business, it happens. It happens. It has to happen.
Right. Very nice. Very nicely summarized, Ravi. So, final question is, Ravi, as an accomplished salesperson yourself, what message would you like to give to those who aspire to build a career in sales domain?
Yeah. So, very thing I would humbly say that I am not an accomplished salesperson. I am also a learner. Maybe I am better than somebody who has just started, or better than somebody who has not given 100% to sales. One thing I've learned in sales is it's a learning for life. In terms of process, in terms of situation. Because one thing in sales I've realized that every individual is a different. As I said, every human being is different. If there are 7 billion or 8 billion people in this world, every human being is different. Yeah, there may be certain typical characteristics. I view as sales is always dynamic. It keeps changing based on the situation, the circumstances, the countries, the products, and so I'm learning. So I would say that I'm a learner. And yeah, so I could be a better learner. I could be somewhat ahead of the curve, but I see that everybody has the potential to become good and better and still better. Yeah, so some 4 or 5 advices which I would like to say based on my experiences is one, approach sales only if you have that passion for sales. It is not necessary that everybody has to do sales. Okay. Some people are cut out for R&D, some people are cut out for production, some people are cut out because world does not require 100% salesmen. It's okay to say that, okay, sales is good, but I need not do sales just for the sake of sales. So if you're like to meet people and you're like to take rejection, or not like to take rejection, or able to handle rejections. Okay, if you like to meet people and if you are an extrovert, sales is a good profession. And the first question people should ask themselves honestly: am I really cut out, or am I really enjoying sales from the core of my heart?
True.
There could be some other calling which can take them to great heights. That's number one. Number two is, yes, if sales is something which they enjoy, they should approach sales as a long-term activity, not as a short-term. I mean to say, sales is not just, some people loosely use the word कि उसको टोपी लगाया, इसको बेच दिया. These are very crude words which I somehow feel that how can you talk like this? It's always a win-win situation. It's lasting relationships.
Yeah.
Sales is not pushing something down somebody's throat unknowingly. Some people think that this is a great achievement. I would say that's the biggest failure. Sales is something which is a win-win, and it's a long-term relationship. People should come back to you, again and again for various products. So that is number two. Go for a long-term relationship. Third is, appeal to the people's emotions. See people as an emotional people, not as something transactional. People don't go only for a good product and a value product. They go for emotion also. You just try once. I'll give you an example. You sell a beautiful product, low cost, but you insult the client. He'll say, no, I would buy a rather costly product. I'll pay more, but I will not get insulted. I have learned it the hard way. At one time, I gave my product, which was far greater and superior than the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I somehow insulted a guy, and that guy said that, okay, I'm going to pay extra, but I'm not going to buy yours.
Wow.
Okay. So beautiful learning as to people think that, if you have the best product, if you have the number one product, and if you're cheap, you can afford to be rude. Absolutely not. That is something which is no. So never ever, hurt somebody if you have, a good product. Go for a long-term solution, find your passion, and keep on learning. Somehow, unfortunately, I feel that people feel that, okay, I've done sales, so I know everything. So they don't invest upon themselves. They don't force their company to invest upon themselves. And unfortunately, I've seen in companies, the amount of money spent on continuous sharpening the scales of sales is very, very meager, as compared to the material cost and the other costs which the company incur. And the largest asset which the company has is people. And with this, through this medium of your this particular session, I'd like to tell all the leaders as to, just see, invest on in sales. And I would like to request the people who are hearing this in the individual capacity. Like, I spent about 3 to 4 lakhs in my career, my own money. Even when I was working with multinationals, I spent my own money for enrolling into a course. I
Upgrading
remember,
yourself.
in my course, and I spent some substantial money. So people should do that. And I think, and the investment will be rewarded. I'm very sure.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, Ravi, for those golden piece of advice. And I think one of the point that stuck to me was, sales is all about long-term relationship. It's not
Yes.
really about one transaction. किसी
Yes.
को चिपका दिया, तो that's kind of a transaction. But
Yes.
as it goes, with coaching also, coaching is not about transaction. It's all about transformation.
Yes.
And that's where, the sales also come in picture. Thank you so much, Ravi.
I enjoyed Bimal. Very nice. I enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm very sure this small conversation will be beneficial to many people.
Yeah.
And looking forward to have many more with you.
Yeah.
In the subject.
Yeah, sure. I think, it was really insightful, Ravi. I'm sure the people who have watched you, until now would now clearly understand the difference between coaching, training, and consulting. Thank you for reintroducing or kind of, reiterating the fundamentals of sales, the principles which haven't changed.
Yes.
Only the way information is gathered or accessed has changed. And I think that was a beautiful point that you made. I also want to thank you for making some very good references to the books that you mentioned. I'm going to list them, all of them, into the description, so the people,
You can add one more book, Biman. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This was something which I read in 1991.
Yeah.
At the beginning of my sales career, and that is a phenomenal book even now.
Yeah. Even as of now, it is still relevant.
It's something very beautiful in terms of maintaining relationship and developing relationships.
Well, thank you so much, Ravi.
Thank you.
Pleasure talking to you. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks.